Tonight on the Locked Up RC channel, we have some upgrades for our Gen 8 Scout 2. These are not, where do I go with this? I've got a lot of different things. These are not going to be given out in any sort of order, but there are a couple of different things that was sent to me that I like to try things before we list them in the store. Suffice to say, I've got some drive shafts, some link mounts, a brass diff cover, and a bumper that I already took out the bag and started playing around with it a little bit. And of course, we've got a Gen 8, right? We're going to get some of these things installed. I hope you'll stick around. So if you guys have any preference, welcome, Noel. If you guys have any preference on what you'd like me to install or play with first, chime in. Otherwise, I don't know. I feel like link mounts aren't really that exciting, so I'll probably save those for last. Just because, I don't know. I guess it'll be nice to see if this fits. So these are all Devil RC parts. We carry this line. We don't make this, but these have kind of become, I don't know what you'd call it. Not like they're not a sub brand, but they're a good complement to a lot of the stuff that we carry. A lot of the stuff that you guys are using. You know, sometimes things need to be expensive. Sometimes they don't. Some of these things don't really have to be that expensive, and that's kind of why I like this stuff. For the most part, it's still pretty good quality. We do kind of test everything before we actually list it in the store. And I figured, hey, you know what? Instead of me just testing this stuff before we put it in the store, I'll make a show out of it. Why not? So if it blows up in our face, great, whatever. Anyway, first things first, what do you guys want to start with? Welcome, Ben, and welcome, Eric. What do you guys think? I'm thinking maybe the bumper last. The bumper, I took the bumper apart and dropped it in the garage. I was pulling all of it. I was just playing around with this earlier. I guess I'm not doing... You know what? I don't think my camera's even really centered here. Let's do this. Move this over a bit. Oh, gosh. I had to mess with it. Now it's definitely not. Well, you know what? Let's see if I can just bend this. I was doing some stuff up here earlier and bashed the camera, and it was like pointing at the wall. Welcome, Jake. Anyway, back to this. I was playing with the bumper before, and I dropped it, and anyway, suffice it to say, I had to touch it up. So there's a couple of scratches on it already. What can you do? But I was playing around with taking all of this stuff off and everything because, I don't know, the flashy red isn't really me, and I don't know. It's just not me. Anyway, I think there's some things we can do to improve the look of this bumper. One of them being, I think I would remove this big giant hoop. I don't know. It doesn't look realistic to me. Hey, welcome. Can't even talk. Welcome. It's going well, I guess. All things, right? Everybody's safe, I hope, and well. I am well. That aside, we've got the bumper. We've got some drive shafts that I'm interested in. We actually added a couple of drive shafts to the store within the last week. I haven't tried this particular model from Devil. The other ones that we got from them were okay for what they were. I don't think that you're going to get like the tightest tolerances or anything with these, but if you're beating on your truck pretty hard and you want something metal, these might be an option. And then the diff cover, of course, is just, it's just a big chunk of brass. I am not a fan of this stuff myself because I don't feel like this looks scaled to me. However, brass could be painted, or it could, I don't know, has anybody tried the Caswell's Illuma brass, not Illuma brass, like brass black or whatever it's called, I don't know. Welcome, Josh, welcome, Red. So I don't know. Since nobody seems to, awesome. I'm glad you like them, Ben. Please post up a picture on Facebook so that we can share it. We'll put it on Instagram. I think I might start with the diff cover. I don't know. It's the least me thing, but let's just see, right? I don't have any brass diff covers on anything, so this will be different. Something, maybe. I can't see this is going to be outrageously hard to install. So maybe not that exciting. Of course, we probably could. I want to pull one of these screws out and see how long they are. I mean, the stock diff cover doesn't look super realistic, but it doesn't look terrible. I don't know what do you guys think? What looks more realistic, this thing or the stock one? I'm just curious. Brass. I know. Hey, welcome, Sean. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of dirt in this one screw, so it's misbehaving. Those look like maybe M2x5 for anyone that's wanting to do this at home. Possibly, what we'll do is we'll make a show out of just putting these things on, and then I will go beat them to death, and we'll make a show out of what survived. At that point, maybe we could also try some of the brass black methods. Brass blackening. Yeah. Ooh. It's like a little tongue twister there. Well, I just kind of fell down in there. Gee, no, I didn't even realize that this is actually metal. So the stock diff cover is actually metal. I did not realize that. It's got to be just stamped steel, I would imagine, unless it's... Nope. So it's either milled aluminum or cast or some of that QR whatever stuff. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. Super exciting. Oh, I'm slacking on comments already. The brass is happening. Ha ha ha. No, I'm just kidding. Oh hey, extra screw. Well, those are even longer. That doesn't mean that they're right though. I know a lot of you guys that are going to watch this show tonight are vomiting over watching this, because how can Patrick Norton be putting brass on something? Brass has a place. But I'll tell you this, I don't really mind brass, provided it still looks scale. So this is just step one. We're getting a box. No. And if you don't know what that's from, then you need to watch more YouTube. So far, so good. The first screw fits. That's a good sign. I mean, there's no threaded holes or anything on this. So unless they just totally botched the hole pattern or didn't clearance enough, I think it would be difficult to mess this up. You know, being a Saints fan, I kind of like the black and gold. I'm just saying. No, it's not gold, it's brass, but you know what I mean. I'd still prefer this to be darker, or blackened, or even, I don't know, something. We'll see. When I go to put this on YouTube, I will put some stats on how much this thing weighs, because I may take it off after the show. I don't know. I'll put some stats on how much this particular one weighs for anyone that's interested. Well, that was like the quickest thing I've ever installed, ever, for anything ever. I don't know. Shiny. It's gonna be blingy. Yep, shiny. I wonder if I hit that with some media, if it would take some of the shine off. Probably. I might like it slightly better then. That would probably also make it easier to paint. Chinesium, yes. Portal covers for the 10.3 ... Capra. Sean, I have some portal covers that I installed on Jackie's Capra a couple weeks ago. They were prototypes. They are steel. I'm still working on some different things for that. Not there yet. This was a 3D print kind of testy, I don't know. Something that's still on my desk. Just messing around with stuff. But anyway, yeah, I think I had said for the Capra covers, I'm going to make one that's kind of like a stock replacement that's just steel. So it will add a little bit of weight, a lot of strength, but it will still look scale. The portals, oh, I had knuckles also, so those were steel. I'm probably going to keep all of our portals steel because doing steel and something else would be expensive. But for the Capra / 10.3 covers, I may have one steel option for the scale guys, and then one option that uses some sort of blackened brass for everyone else. Whatever. We'll see. Haven't gotten there yet. A little behind. Welcome, Robert. Welcome, Paul. Let's wait. Okay, let's see. So that went on really easily. I hate to even... You know what? I feel like the bumper is going to go on pretty easily, so... With the idea being that I try to keep this to 1 hour shows, I'm going to remove the factory bumper, which has a 3 racing winch on it. Man, it's taking a while. It's almost like I should have some sort of electric screwdriver up here. You know, I always ask, what's everybody else building this week? I always like to know what you guys are up to. That was easy. I suspect that this is also going to go on easily. Need to tighten the screws on here. Interesting. I'm guessing that, so with this bumper, the mounting studs are in some slotted holes. I don't know if you guys can see that those are actually slotted. Focus. Come on. Well, you just have to trust me. I believe that the intention is for this bumper to be able to be mounted on several different vehicles, just depending upon where you slide the mounts. I don't know what the other vehicle they're intending this to be for. It may be an SCX-10-2. I don't know. Let's see. We should have some hardware that came with this. Oh gosh, this bumper. I mean, it fits, right? It's aluminum, so it's lightweight, but it's metal, so you get some points. If you're a scale guy, it came with a fair lead. That's nice. The mounting pattern, I'll have to check. It looks like it's drilled for a couple of different winches, so that could be a good thing. Get this started. There we go. I actually think that might fit a 3 racing winch, which would be good for me because that's what I've got. So I didn't really pay attention to which holes I should use, but I mean, in terms of width and everything, it's maybe a hair narrower than stock. I'd say it sticks out a little bit more. It's like the winch plate is a little deeper. Let me see where my, oh, here we go. So I guess you guys can see the different mounting holes that are in there. So it looks to me like this, yeah, this actually looks like it will fit the 3Racing winch without the plate. So you'd be able to mount the winch straight to it and just use the included fairlead that's on there. So you can focus on that. A little too close. Yeah, interesting. Something would have to be done about these. I couldn't. I couldn't. I can't. I don't know. If you like to have the big red shackles on your bumper, that is totally fine. I have no problem with that. But as much as brass is not me, this would not be me either. I am betting I probably could throw these in some easy off or something. I can't tell if this is paint or powder coat. I didn't drop that. You're clumsy. I'll have to pick at this to see what I can determine. If I could, I would just blast these and get them back to plain metal, and then either paint them or just leave them. If they are aluminum, which I'm kind of suspecting, or Chinesium, they probably would not rust terribly. Might be kind of cool if they did. I don't know. I can't do the bright red. It's not a me. It's not a me thing. What else is going on? Let's see. Stainless steel in the future. Josh, sorry, I'm a couple minutes behind on comments. Stainless steel what? Portal covers? Probably not, if that's what you were asking. There will be a need for the chassis side panhard mount. Are you talking about for this truck, Sean? Oh, sorry. You're talking about the 10.3. Hey, welcome, Diane. Let's see. Sean, cheap Walmart driver versus. I know. Paul actually recommended the cheap Walmart driver. I just haven't gotten around to getting one before all of the lockdown stuff, and now I really don't want to go into Walmart. Yeah, I'll have to check to see if an RC four-wheel drive winch fits this. I think they are deeper, because what was I doing last week? I was trying to put that. I was trying to put the 3Racing winch on the Rook, the CC hand bumper for the TRX4, and the holes worked for the RC four-wheel drive winch, but not the 3Racing. So maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. We'll see. What was I doing? Okay, I took this off. I think it looks a little bit better without the red. I know it's not the biggest picture right there, but this camera's too close. Can't see anything. I don't have a good way to adjust the height of the camera, even though I can zoom in and out. Wait, did I zoom all the way out? Maybe that would have helped. Aha. It's probably not going to help a lot, because it's still really close. Yeah. I do think it looks better without the red things. I know you guys can't see it. I'll show you at the end. I'll hold it in this camera when this is down here. Aha. Okay, what's next? Oh, the other thing that I was thinking I would probably do with this bumper is remove the brush guard, grill guard, whatever. I don't absolutely hate it. I'm just not a fan of the square feeling on it. Although I don't know, maybe that fits for a Scout, but let's see. Probably be easier to tell if I put the bumper on, or the body on. So other than, yeah, I guess, you know, the potential downside to that is that I now notice all the different holes in the bumper. So you guys probably can see that. I don't know why there's a hole here. I don't know what these two holes are for. I wonder if they sell optional, like, grill guards. Maybe that have a hoop that comes up and then something that goes out. I don't know. I could you know, I may be able to convince Eric to bend something for me. He likes bending metal so much. Talking about the shackles. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. What are we talking about? Shackles. Oh, the RC four-wheel drive shackles. Yes. They might. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they did. But even if they don't, I still think I can take these down and either paint them or something. I'm just not doing the red. It's not going to happen. As far as this is concerned, I don't know. I don't know. Would it be better? I don't know. I guess I should have looked at this before I took it off. I don't know. Maybe without the red on there, maybe I wouldn't mind the squareness of this. We'll see. For now, I'm just going to leave it off. So we'll have lots of holes everywhere. I definitely can replace these two screws with scale hardware. And I can replace, those are just M3. I can replace the screws inside this fair lead with some scale hex bolts as well. I'm betting those are M2. Probably M2.5 would work. Let's see. Where is my tiny screwdriver? There you are. Well, I hope it's M2 because one of them just shot across the workbench. It looks like M2. Come here. Ooh, rat. Let's see what I've got in my box of tricks. Let's see. I thought I might have an M2.5 scale hex bolt in this bin, but I might not. Maybe all 7s. It's not like it's the end of the world, but I think it would fit better if I had an M2.5 or M2x5. But at least to see if it fits, right? I actually had some of them sitting up there. I'm losing it in my old age. You guys gotta watch me. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy long. But you know what? We can always trim it down. Yep, M2x7. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, you can see the M2x7 would be a little bit too long because it just comes through the back. A 5 would probably even come through the back, but I'm sure I could trim something up. Spotlights on the corners. That's a good idea. Sells all the scale hardware. Doesn't have it. I've got tons. What this? I've got it. I've got the stuff somewhere. Let's see. I think while I'm doing scale hardware on this, I'm going to see if I can get away with doing this and pull one of these guys out. See how long it is. I mean, somewhere I have an M2.5. I just don't. I don't have any in this particular bin because this is the bin I bring out on the trails, and I don't have anything that uses. What am I looking for? M2x5 screws that would lose one. I don't know, because I've just never needed one. Well, I see now why they did button heads on here. It's to hide that slot. So if you remember, I was talking about these holes are slotted so that it can fit, I suspect, multiple different trucks. These scale hex bolts do not completely cover the slot. I don't think it looks terrible, but I don't know if it's going to focus. That's pretty close. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of gap right there on the side. I don't know how I could make that better. I guess a washer, and that takes away from some of the scale hex bolt look. Maybe when I pull this bumper off, I will fill behind those holes a little bit and just kind of re-drill them, and then put a fresh coat of paint on it. And then you won't see them. That's what I'll do. That'll be better. That I will like. Okay, so I know what to do with that. I know what to do with that. Got the bumper on. I'm pretty sure this winch will go right on. You know what? We're doing bumper stuff. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. Never mind all those loud noises you're hearing in the back. Oh my, I used some really long screws when I put this in, didn't I? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but... And I forgot about that. Curses. Okay, stuff all over the place. So what's going on right now is I just need to take this hook off. I am not going to use this line anyway, so I'm not going to worry about trying to save it or the hook. But I just want the plate off of the winch so that I can test it on here. Yeah, and it centers too. This is going to be good. Let's see. I'll try this little buddy. Maybe, is that going to be too long? It might be too long. Hey. Well, I'm not using that one. Let's see. Bring this over here. I am just digging for screws right now. See, I have M2x5 socket caps in here for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why these things happen. Why did my background music stop? That's unacceptable. Gotta watch this show, this software. I mean, these people that give you this free broadcasting software, I'm telling you. I'm kidding. That's just not even close to being one thing. Man, I'm a bad host. Okay, let's see. I got one screw part of the way in. Oh, maybe it doesn't fit. Maybe it's really close though. Maybe it is going to be like the RC4 drive. Maybe it's going to be really close but still not fit. That'll make me so sad because that'll just be more holes I have to drill in this bumper of Swiss cheese. Oh, but these are so close. That has to fit. When I say it has to, I mean, it's probably not going to, but I'm going to try to force it in there anyway. So maybe, okay, I should probably put the front one in first. At least this way, I will also be able to show you guys how close it is. You easily could open up these holes to fit this winch without any issue, I think. I mean, it's crazy close. Hopefully the camera will focus. I mean, you know, it's maybe half a mil or a mil off of fitting. But anyway, it looks like it would all fit. We're gonna see what happens here. Of course, my body is one of those bodies that doesn't really fit right, and I still haven't fixed it because I'm not sure of the best way to fix it other than having to re-drill a whole bunch of holes in the body, which I don't want to do. Yeah, my body also does not sit down evenly. It's not the bumper. I did this on the other one, but I actually kind of like the way that looks. Fill a couple of those holes with some spotlights and stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so let's do some stuff. Let's pay some bills. Okay, what's new at Locked Up RC, right? So I started this, I think I did this a couple of weeks ago. Just going to kind of do the same thing. You know, we have a new release section, but I know people probably aren't going there all the time to check things out, so I just wanted to show you guys. Even though we're installing some drive shafts tonight, we did add a couple of new drive shafts to the store. We've added a couple of different SSD and incision parts, added some additional silicone hookup wire options, something I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for, right? Pitbull tires. We have a select few of those in stock. We will be adding more tires from RC 4-wheel drive, Pitbull, whoever, as time and finances allow. We got our newest wheel listed, so this is our first internal wheel. Those are in stock and available now. I'm going to tell you right now, they are freaking beautiful. Just after those came out and were done, and I'm so happy with those. I don't really know what else I can say. The Full Metal Jacket beadlock rings are finally available. I said a couple of weeks ago, oh, I'll have those in this week, but you know what? Things happened, like the lockdown, and I kind of lost track of it. So anyway, those are now up and available in the store. I am working on a couple of additional things that will work with these rings for you guys. We have also restocked our thread repair kits, and we are now offering an M2.5 thread repair kit. For anybody that watched the show last week and liked the bumper relocation mount that I used on my TRX4, I have, I think, 9 or 10 of those in stock. They are the prototypes. There's nothing wrong with it. It's going to be exactly like the production version, but for cost tracking, I just have to list it as a prototype in here so that later in the year, when I try to figure out why I sold these for, less than they actually cost me to make, whatever, it's fine. It's because they're prototypes and we only made a couple. When we start making them in the billions, things will be better. Anyway, that is what is new this week. I hope you guys have enjoyed the little tour. Okay, so anybody have any questions about any of the new things? Want to talk about anything? Welcome, Greg. Welcome, Joe. It's going great, Joe. Thanks for asking. Ben, I really think you're going to like those wheels. I was really just, my jaw dropped when I was looking at them. But anyway, I think because of the design of those wheels, normally when I do a run of wheels, I do aluminum, and then we go and we get some anodized black. However, something about the look of those wheels is making me want to do them in gold. Instead of doing black anodizing, do some in gold. What do you guys think? I don't know. Would you like those wheels better if they were in gold than in black? Because, I mean, the black's going to look cool, don't get me wrong, but, you know, you guys are always asking me to do stuff in color. I feel like maybe I should do those specifically in gold. I don't know. Yeah, Joe, thank you. If you guys have not gone and checked out those wheels, go on over to the site. I don't have any mounted yet. Any mounted pictures, honestly, because we're on Skeleton Crew and everything here is crazy. Trying to get orders out the door has been my main focus. Taking pictures is kind of a second thing, so we'll see. Anyway, what's next? Okay, so we can get some of this bumper stuff out of the way. I am going to follow up. I'm just kind of curious now. For anyone that was wondering how big the shackles on the bumper are compared to the stock, I mean, they're just about the same damn size. I say just about. I think they're exactly the same size. Well, they're a little thinner, but they're metal of some sort. Chinesium, as it's been quoted, I'm sure. Okay, anyway, that's out of the way. That's gone. Let's see. Bumper stuff is over here. So even if I took... Oh, I wonder... Ooh. I know I said I was done with the bumper, but I'm curious. Would the... Well, I don't really want to use a stock one in there. No, I'm gonna like sandblast these or something and just remove the red. I'll update you guys on how that looks at some point in the future. I think the next thing is going to be... Let's check out these drive shafts. So I myself have not had any problem with the drive shafts that are in here. If you have, let me know. I'm just curious. I don't know. Caden, my son, is actually the one that mostly drives this truck. And he does tend to do a whole lot of massive throttle, front, back, you know, full lock. Just, he's not gentle with it at all. I don't know where he gets that from. It's not me. Welcome, Brian. Welcome, Jeremy. Welcome, Mike. Sorry, I'm just reading comments. So, the bronze. Bronze is... So, there are a few colors that I can have done in smaller, I will say, runs. So, when I drop off stuff at the anodizer, and we use an industrial anodizer, so we're dropping off a lot of stuff all at once. I can almost always... I am almost always dropping stuff off in black, because that's our most popular color. To do stuff in, I want to say the middle colors that they also have frequently set up or whatever are like blue, red, and gold. So blue, red, and gold would probably be the three colors that I do. Something in here would probably be the three colors that I could do those in. Colors like bronze and let's see, what else do we have? Bronze, orange, purple, green, like our agile rings. When I drop those off, I'm having to wait for someone else that does a special order batch. Because believe it or not, Locked Up RC is not the biggest giant industrial manufacturing hub that I wish it was. But when I'm dropping off those rings to get them done, that's like a once a year thing for those colors, and I still have to, like, I have so many purple agile rings I will probably never run out, and that's fine, but I had to do an insane amount of them. So I don't have that quantity of wheels that I drop off that I do with like agile rings. I especially don't have that quantity of one wheel, so getting them done in, what did I say, bronze, purple, orange, and green is much less likely. I'm not saying it'll never happen, but under the current conditions, with the way the anodizer is right now, it's probably not going to happen. So gold, red, blue, or black are going to be the things that I'll be able to kind of start dipping my feet into first. What's my story? What did I do before Locked Up RC? And oh, you just made me think of the opening of the movie The Jerk, the Steve Martin movie. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch it. Let's see. What did I do before today? Man, that is a long story that you guys probably don't want to hear. It's See, now I wish I could remember the actual opening sequence from that movie. This would have been the perfect time to take it out and just repeat it. Anyway, I did a lot of stuff before this. I did all sorts of stuff. I worked in a bank in the portfolio risk assessment department. I worked in their customer service department before that. I was a nurse pimp before that. I worked as a kid, I was a busboy, and I worked at Blockbuster Video. Let's see, after all of that stuff at the bank, I did some software consulting with an IBM software called Maximo. After that, what did I do? I was in advertising sales. After that, I was in hotel sales. And I think that catches us up to now. So lots of different jobs. Always something different. Jeremy, absolutely. All of the wheels that we send out, unless they say they've been anodized, they are bare. Some of them get a finished treatment, but it's not a covering. So if you look on our site under the FAQ, we have different, and we call them, I think, natural aluminum finishes. Natural, it's machined, so it's not natural, but we've got the cinder finish, which is like a media and bath technique. We've got a hand finish, which is a manual, like artisan hand polishing, sort of. We've got, what else? I think we say bright is the other finish. And we have one that we call PTH. Bright is basically the closest to a machine finish that you'll get. So it kind of has a little bit of a sheen to it. But there's a little bit of machining mark in there sometimes, but it's pretty shiny. So like if you get something anodized and it's got that bright finish, it's going to be a bright anodized, versus hand finish is a little more matte, and then cinder finish, when you get things anodized, unless you put like a clear sealer on there or a clear coat, it's going to be very matte. The PTH finish is polished to hell, basically. And that's when we do stuff like that, they come out like glass, like a mirror almost. It's crazy. That's not something we do a whole lot because it's quite labor intensive and quite expensive. What's Blockbuster Video? It's same thing as Netflix, basically. Next, you're going to ask me what a cassette tape is or an 8-track. At some point, I was relaying to someone the woes of my high school youth about having to have like a Discman with a cassette tape adapter in my stereo, and how when I hit a bump, I mean, even though it was like the car Discman or whatever, you hit an ant in the road and it would skip. And I was mentioning that to someone, and my uncle looked at me crossways and he's like, "Boy, I had a record player in my car." What? I don't know if he could use it when he was actually driving. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so we're past that. What were we doing? Some stuff with the truck. Drive shafts. Let's see what kind of damage we can do with these. Well, they're heavy. That means nothing, but we'll see. Actually, before I even put these in here, let's play with them. So they actually feel pretty good. I mean, all things considered. You take, what do I have over here? Junfac. Junfac? Yeah. So, like, if you look at this Junfac shaft, let me try and get a clear space, or at least zoom in. So if you look at this shaft, and I'm just going to hold it on the ends, and if I do this, you can see there is movement. And actually, I'll hold my right hand still so you can see how much movement there is. Right? So that's just going to translate to some drivetrain slop. Now, this is a used shaft. Obviously, I could rebuild it and probably get a little bit of life back out of it. What else do we have here? What was this? This was like a Traxxas shaft. It's just like the Traxxas like boat ends or something. I can't remember. I don't know. This one has also a little bit of slop, right? I mean, nothing is going to have zero slop, so I don't think anything's going to have zero slop. What is this? This is one of the wild boar shafts, I believe. This actually feels pretty tight. Still a little bit of movement. Not too much. I don't have a good MIP or anything up here to test. But let's compare all of those to this guy, brand new. And that's actually turning sideways. I don't... Well, there we go. No, that's still sideways. It's hard to get this. I feel like the slot that I'm seeing is actually in the U-joint doing this. But anyway, all things considered, new, I would say this feels like it's pretty tight and the tolerances are pretty nice. The splines in here are pretty big. It's not very long. I don't know how deep the splines go in here. I don't know why wouldn't they just make this thing like really long? Go whatever. You know, that way I could like trim it down and do things with it if I wanted to. Whatever. Okay, so all these out of the way. Anyway, oh, what's this shaft? I don't even remember what this is from. But it doesn't matter. I'm not messing with it tonight. What do we got? Comments. 1. Bill upset getting skipped. Man, I think I had... What did I have? Probably like a Discman or something. But I remember it was like extra thick, right? So like a normal Discman was like this. Mine was like this. And it had like maybe springs on the feet or something that was supposed to help absorb the shot. I don't know. The good old days. I mean, some things were good. Some things weren't good. Let's see. What's the best way to get at these drive shafts? Is there a set screw that I can access from up here? Yes. So that's where we're going to start. I guess I could put this on the camera. Make this somewhat entertaining for you guys. I haven't taken these off yet. Has anyone taken these off? This feels like it's going to be really tight. It's concerning me. Oh, here we go. Okay. It definitely feels like either Godzilla put this in or someone blew their nose of Loctite in here. Just trying to get the pin out. Well, I don't see Loctite, so it must have just been Godzilla tightened. That's fine. You know. I guess if they don't make it really tight, then this one definitely has some goo in it. That'll be fun. Man, I am exerting an undue amount of pressure on this. I feel like I have used. I'm knocking on some wood here. I have to imagine that some people have broken those set screws trying to get them out, because that was just really tight. Does that not go in any further, or is this trapped on something? I was hoping there'd be enough slack in this to get it out, is there not? Come on. What would be stopping this? Is it just stuck on this? Can't be. There's nothing for it. Well, I don't want to break that. Alright, well, I'm going to take a link out so that I can get a little bit of slack in here, just to make sure. I said I was going to take the link out. Maybe I'm going to take the link out. You guys need to tell me when I zoom in too far and then I forget. Because, you know, I forget. Record player plus gravel road. Yes. Okay, that is interesting. It was... Gee, you know, again, they have... See, this one, I guess, bottoms out inside. But I do like that they provide you with a lot of male end. So you could trim this to fit on something else. That's nice. So we're comparing slop and whatnot, I guess I should say. So this one feels like it's got about the same amount of movement as the other one, but it's pretty tight. So let's compare these two side by side. So the replacement shaft is narrower. It is metal. The compressed length, I guess, is a little bit shorter. So we'll see how that goes. That may make it possible for me to get it in and out without having to remove a link, so that may not be bad. This extended goes out pretty far. I'd say you could probably safely run it to about right there. This one, I'd say you probably could safely run it to about right there. So overall, this one is, what is that? I don't know, 3-4 millimeters shorter total running length. Hey, welcome, Josh. Anyway, I think that this will be an acceptable replacement if it holds up. So part of this install will be revisiting this after we let Caden do some damage. It's got a bigger pin. Oh, that could be interesting. All right, so the actual diameter of the pin is bigger, but it allows you to use a bigger tool. I actually like that. So I will give them props for that. Go in your home. Did I not get it on all the way? Did I put it on upside down? Did I put it on backwards? God, I do that all the time. With drive shafts? Is that what I did? No, that's not what I did. Well, why is it not cooperating? I did just put this... Okay, it fits without issue. I say it fits without issue, and yet I can't get this pin in. I feel like it maybe is not... Take this out, do some checking. Put my pin aside. Where that stock one go? So I think what's happening is that the stock shaft maybe the pin location is a little bit different, but it seems like they're, man, that seems like it should fit. Maybe not. So in order to get this to fit, I may have to take a little bit off of the end of this. I don't know how easy this is going to be for you guys to see, but or what the best way to explain this is, but so if both of those are closest to this finger over by the transmission, you can see the pin location on this one is a little further out, which means to get the pin on this one to the same location as this one, you'd have to push it on to there a little bit further. And it's not a whole lot, but man, it's just enough that I can't get the pin in. I'm guessing it's the same on both ends. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Try one more time, but this does not look good. I mean, I'm pushing down with a tremendous amount of force, just trying to get the pin to bite, but it's not going to bite. So, I would call this a failure. I could still get this to work, and I probably will just because I have them. But I'm going to have to take some material off this end. I mean, there's a little hat, seat, whatever right here. Maybe that, or it could be that the shape of these are different. You know, maybe that's it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll chuck this up and just take a little bit off this corner, off this face right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. If I get it off of this face right here where my fingernail is scraping, maybe then it will be able to slide in. Let me try it on the drive shaft to see if it's got the same problem down here. Yeah, I think so. So the pin definitely goes through, so it's not the pin. I guess you guys didn't get to see that. Pin goes through. But if I put the shaft on, hopefully I can get it so that you guys can see this. You can just on the inside there make out, right? Hopefully. Anyway, design flaw. Naughty, naughty. Okay, so these will have to go out to the shop to be played with, which I'm okay with. But I wouldn't want to sell them because, hey, they don't fit. All right, what's next? Let's pay the bills. Time for everyone's favorite, the dad joke of the week. Would anyone like to join me in a javelin club? I'm just throwing it out there. Tough crowd, tough crowd. Okay, let's see, what do we got? I'm gonna put this drive shaft back in because, you know, I'm gonna need it to actually drive the truck. I did like the idea of the bigger pins though. I will have to give them a little bit of information on how their stuff is not fitting and what they can do to improve it. I'm always happy to help people improve stuff. Of course, to be honest, there's no telling how long I've actually had those. They may have already improved it. So, I don't know if anyone had noticed on my Facebook, Caden and I got an original Nintendo, so a NES, and started playing around with it, and he is loving it. I am pleasantly surprised. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave that loose because we can change the link lines too. Let me check comments real quick. But remind me to go back to the NES. Oh gosh, lots of comments. Oh my gosh, I'm slacking. Bust out the kapoo. Then we'd be here until Thursday. The pin does fit through the output of the transmission as well. Those are both the same size. So it's not the pin hole. It is the pin location on the drive shaft itself. Design fail, definitely. Yes. Not enough time. Isn't the lip on the drive shaft so that it rests against the inner bearing race? You would think so. However, no, it doesn't fit. It's close, but it's there. It's off. I don't know. you know, sometimes they make parts for one truck and they just say, oh, that's the right length, it'll fit, sell it for that. And that may be the case. Maybe this would fit on an SCX10, but it doesn't fit on the Gen 8. I don't know. I'll actually have to... There. If you're... Well, anyway. If you've got an SCX10, maybe you can tell me. I don't remember the links of those off the top of my head, but this is 111 full length, compressed. Pin to pin, I would say, is 101, give or take. Oh, my battery's going out. Extended, you know, obviously that depends on how much of a gambler you are, but reasonable extension, I'd say it'd be about right there. So that's 131. So I'm sure there is some truck that this shaft fits just like that. And they said, hey, the length is the same on a Gen 8. It's meant for Gen 8. But it's not. It's meant for something else. They're just making it happen. Let's see, Josh, you had talked to me for a while about a buggy wheel, just a narrower wheel. Any plans for that in the future? I have not looked into that, I will admit it. Isn't the lip on the drive? Oh yeah, I already read that. The buggy wheel? Man, I'm so far behind on wheels. I have not looked into that. You'll have to remind me what it was you were looking for. Send me an email. I'm better about following up with stuff if there's an email in front of me, because then I can sit down and think about it. Yeah, I haven't looked into that. Trying to remember what exactly we talked about, but either it'll come to me or you can email me, and then I definitely will remember. What were we doing? This. So the links. So let's see. Link mounts. Again, there's nothing super exciting about these. They just, you know, let's check and see if they actually designed them correctly, because apparently some things they don't. Which I already knew, because that's not the first thing that I've gotten that didn't work and add to the store. So this is the passenger side, driver side. I've already got some of this apart, so I will just continue taking it apart. Actually, this may be what I need. No. Yes. Hey, for once I'm doing it on camera, and I didn't even think about it. So proud of me. Nope. That is a deceiving looking hole. Oh, it's just now occurring to me that the way they have this rod end set up, it's kind of interesting. Do need these, because they did not send any hardware with the link mounts, so that should mean that the stock stuff should fit. Should. Well, so far it fits. Now they do have it, I guess I'll compare. I know these are different, but I'm just comparing them for the sake of comparing. Let's see, this was like this. This would go like this. All right. So there are, of course, some differences. Where are we? Up here. In terms of how this sits on the axle housing. So the machined version it's pretty smooth in terms of I'm trying to see, like, you know, what it would get, what would catch on it. It's think it's fine. It doesn't look as slick as this part, but what can you do? Let's see. I got that in. Oh yeah, have to get the track bar back on. But so far, this all seems to fit correctly. So these are something that we would consider carrying. Because I definitely could see Caden rolling this thing down a hill and breaking off this track bar mount. I mean, it's pretty beefy, but I could see him doing that. Things happen. I definitely don't give him a hard time when he breaks stuff because it's half the fun. Oh, anyway, I know what I was talking about. So we got a Nintendo, and Caden has just been enjoying the hell out of it. I have too. I don't know which one of us has been enjoying it more, but oops. I have randomly been having original Nintendo game theme songs stuck in my head. I mean, completely random. It's kind of frustrating to be trying to have a serious conversation with your wife and all of a sudden the Mega Man theme song just comes into your head. What's up with that? Is it just because I've been locked in the house for too long? I need to get out more. Ugh. I don't know. Does that happen to anyone else? Has anybody else been doing something, you know, kind of like that, that's out of the ordinary because of the lockdown? So, you know, buying an old game system or listening to old records or something like that, and then they just get stuck in your head? Because even though you've only listened to it once or twice recently, you listened to it, I don't know, 10,000 times when you were a kid? I mean, I guess if that's the worst thing I have to deal with, then I'm in good shape. It's not really a bad thing to have to deal with. It's just kind of funny. No, nobody's been having any of those problems. Am I the only one that's going crazy in the lockdown? Like, anybody have to like resort to beating their kids or anything? I don't condone that, but in some cases I could see it being understandable. I will say these right ends and the link ends are. This was measured correctly. This is a nice fit. There is not side to side slop like I feel like is common with a lot of these things. So I'm not having to add any spacers or anything like that. That makes me happy. And of course, it depends on the rod ends you're running too, but you know. You could probably fit a piece of paper in there, but once you crank it down, no, it's not going anywhere. So I would say they did a much better job designing the link mounts than they did the drive shafts. But again, the drive shafts are probably just meant for something else. Rocks will plant stuff. Yes. No lockdown. What? No lockdown. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's worse things than being locked down, I suppose. Being dead would be one thing that comes to mind. Ben just keeps buying RC parts. Sorry, I had to. That's a good thing. Okay, what's next? I guess we could do... Well, no, actually, let me think. Before I do that... Yeah, I'm going to save that for last. Let's do the rear link mounts. Where were we? Oh, link mounts, link mounts. These don't take too long, I suppose. What? That didn't sound good. You know, I do actually have a socket that I could be using on here. It's right there. I'm looking at it. It's within arm's reach. Why am I not using it? I don't know. I guess it would be hard to get to it with the other tire there, and I don't want to have to take the wheels and tires off just to change out the link mounts. So I'm cheating by using needle nose pliers, which you shouldn't do. Don't do what I'm doing. And wear safety goggles. Come on. It's ridiculous. Ben, you were talking about wait, did you say you got your wheels already, or did I mail those out today? I can't even remember. I think you said you ordered. I don't know. Anyway, you're gonna like them. The other wheel that is at the moment unnamed, that is going to be released soon, which I think I showed you guys last week. Well, there'll be two other ones. I also got to look at that, and it's very excited about it. I think I am going to have some of them done up special for you guys. So kind of like, you know, unicorn style, but we'll see. First, I have to catch up on everything else. Gosh, I really need to work on my 6x6. So I have a Beast 2 up here that I haven't touched in forever. I took it apart for some purpose. I don't know. Was it? Maybe I think I broke the link mounts on it, and I took it apart to design the new ones. But then why didn't I put it back together? Because we already have the new ones. This is how I get in trouble. Thinking about one thing and doing something else. Also nice and tight. Happy. These are just dandy little parts. I don't know why the lock nuts on these rear links are brutally tight. My God. I'm gonna have Popeye forearms by the time I'm done with this. That's how working out works, isn't it? You lift weights like once or twice and you're ripped, right? That's what I'm hoping. How are we on time? Oh, we're gonna be over. Oh no. That's okay. We got some stuff done. We didn't get the drive shafts in, but that's not our fault. We tried. Ooh, dirty girls. Let's see. So it looks like I'm going to play around with that front bumper still a little bit to try to get it aesthetically more pleasing to me. May play around with filling some of the holes and stuff like that. But, I mean, it fits pretty well. I think it looks nice once you get the gaudy stuff off of it. So, I would say that front bumper is something that we may actually carry. Yeah. So this screw, man, this screw that I pulled out, it's like it pulled out half of the nylon from the lock nut. Because it's not crunchy like Loctite, it's stringy. Oh man, it's like coming off. What is happening here? Ew, gross. My Gen 8's got worms, damn it. May explain why it was so hard to get the nut off? I haven't seen that before. What is there still some on there? This is just not behaving. Go on your home. There we go. Okay. Hopefully this goes on easier than it came off. Did they like glue the lock nut on? Whatever. Things are happening. Thank you for answering the question for me. I like that. I like it when you guys help each other. If you guys haven't joined the Fans of Locked Up RC group on Facebook, feel free to go join. That is moderated and run by the team drivers, so that's actually a good place to go for tech questions, things like that. To answer the question, our wheels should work with all tires. Some of them, like a Pro Line, just because of the shape of the bead is like a big V instead of a nice little rectangle. It takes a little more patience, but they absolutely will go on there. Sometimes I have one mounted somewhere to show people, but they'll just have to take my word for it. What do we got? Okay, link mounts are on, right? Everything's put back together. That's all garbage hardware. So I would say this. I like the link mounts. I mean, they're just a little bit sturdier than stock, which is probably fine. The fit and finish on them look good. The diff cover fit beautifully. I mean, they measured this pretty well. I don't feel like this would really get hung up on anything in reverse. It feels as good as the rear to me. I'm not a fan of brass personally, but if I painted this or blacked it out or whatever, I'd be okay with it. Let's see. What else did we do? The drive shafts, I may have to modify to get them to work, and to me, that's a fail because, I wouldn't expect someone to do that. Did we do anything? Oh, the bumper. The bumper, I'm definitely going to modify to work. I guess kind of, I want a different bumper, right? We all like to have stuff that's unique and different looking, so I'll be the only one with this bumper for now. I don't know the best way to kind of fill those holes. I'll have to look at some different things with washers or whatever, and painting and filler and all that stuff. These things I'm going to definitely sandblast at least, or I may plug these holes with screws. Well, no, I guess having a recovery point on them is good. Yeah, I'll put these back on, but I'm gonna clean them up first. The winch I'm gonna have to tweak. So we've got some things to do. So there'll be a good follow-up. Maybe by the time we get around to the follow-up, I can follow up with the guys at RC to see if they have changed the design of these to actually get them to work with the Gen 8, because they're supposed to be Gen 8 drive shafts. So you'd think they'd work. I don't know. But that's all I've got for that. Let's see. One more thing. Flash coupon! This week's flash coupon is Fork Over the Cat. You go to our website, and this is good for one person only. Go to our website, add a Red Cat Gen 8 to your cart, enter this code, and check out. Remember, this is a flash coupon. It's good for one person. This code is going to save you $70 off that Red Cat Gen 8. Only good for one person. So go use it right now. So you guys will want to check that out. What else? Okay, so I promised this, like a head-on shot. Maybe I should put the body on. Oh, what happened to my antenna? It's chaos. This show is so low budget, my God. Second rate. Guys don't know what they're doing. Don't know how lit up this will be. Well, okay, I do. It's not going to be very well lit up. That's okay. I wonder if I turn the brightness up on this. Can I do that? Is that a thing? Can I make that brighter? A little bit. So, I like the way this looks. I really miss our wheelbase cam. I have to get something working again. Other than all of the holes, which I know, in this hole right here, so these two holes will have lights. Our little D-ring shackles will mount to that. That'll fill in the holes. I think this will look good. I wish there was a better way I could illuminate this for you. I think what I'll do is when I upload this to YouTube, I will insert a picture into the video right here. That way you guys can actually get a clear shot of what everything looks like installed, decent lighting, all of that stuff. Because the lighting in here is really set up for video, not for product display. Man, we need the wheelbase cam back. Gotta work on that. That's all I've got for tonight. Quick check on the comments. I don't see anything. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop us a note in the store or drop a comment in the video, whatever. I'll get back to you guys as soon as we can. I hope everyone can stay safe and keep building. I will see you guys next week. Thanks. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. Not sure if you want to subscribe yet? Check out one of these videos. Thank you for watching.